Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to the video. I did a video for classic mode on the wildcard weekend, and now we're doing tier mode. Tier mode is you select 8 people from a very small player pool. Not my favorite game mode in the world, but I still think it is worth making a video talking strategy. So we're taking a look at tier 1. You have Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson, Mitch Trubisky, Lamar Jackson. I think Trubisky and Jackson are out just because of the game script. Andrew Luck and Watson are going to have the volume. You can't go wrong with Luck, can't go wrong with Watson. You can go with Lamar Jackson if you think he's going to run in the end zone a few times, but I don't think that is something I want to use a tier 1 pick on. You could go with Trubisky, but I don't think the volume is going to be there. I think you go with the volume, you go with Luck, you go with Watson in this tier 1 pick. Andrew Luck's my guy. I'm rolling with Luck. I think he is going to throw for a few touchdowns. I think if they win this game, which I think they do beat Houston, I think it's going to be because of Andrew Luck throwing the ball. So I like Luck in that spot. I think the volume will be there. I think he could throw for a few touchdowns in this game. So I'm going with Andrew Luck in tier 1. Now, tier 2 is another quarterback. I really don't like any of the quarterbacks here. Philip Rivers against Baltimore. I like Philip Rivers in a lot of spots, but not against this Baltimore pass rush. Also, if you believe that Philip Rivers is going to not have the ball a lot due to Baltimore's dominant time of possession, I think Philip Rivers is out of the picture for tier 2. Nick Foles, don't like playing Nick Foles against Chicago. I think like Philip Rivers against Baltimore, Nick Foles is a play in a lot of situations, but not against this pass rush. I think you could go with Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott, albeit against very run-heavy teams. I think Russell Wilson is the play for me. He's been throwing a lot of touchdowns in this game. So you play the touchdown upside, and I think you roll the dice with Russell Wilson. I do think he will throw a few touchdowns in this game. I think if you get a few touchdowns, Russell Wilson will be perfect for tier 2. So just roll with the touchdown upside with Russell Wilson. Now here is where the strategy gets interesting. If you like to game stack, then T.Y. Hilton is the play here. If you played Deshaun Watson in tier 2, then DeAndre Hopkins is the play here. Or do you go with the high volume running back? I think Hopkins is out of the picture at tier 3 just because I went with Luck instead of Watson in that position. So if I'm going to pick the receiver, I think I'm going to go with T.Y. Hilton just because I like game stacking. But I also like high volume running backs. I think Ezekiel Elliott is going to get enough touches to play at tier 3. So I think I'm going to roll with Elliott over Hilton in this spot. I think Hopkins is going to get a high volume of targets, and Hopkins is in play if you chose Watson. But since I didn't choose Watson, I don't have the game stack, so I'm taking Hopkins out of play. But I think there is a deep enough player pool at receiver, but a very shallow pool at the running back position. So I'm going with Elliott in tier 3. Um, this is a very interesting play. Since I'm playing Elliott, I think that takes Cooper out of play. Since I am playing Wilson, I think that takes Carson out of play. I think that the Chargers are going to be running the ball a lot. I think Melvin Gordon III is going to be getting a lot of touches. So again, you have a high volume running back in this position. I think Melvin Gordon III is going to be ignored in this position against Baltimore. So I think in tier 4, I'm just going to punt with another high volume running back with Melvin Gordon III, plug him into tier 4. Here is another pick. I don't like Marlon Mack when I'm playing Andrew Luck. I think Tyreek Cohen is a positive play, but I think Allen Robinson is a positive play. Doug Baldwin with Russell Wilson, positive play. But I'm going to take another play that is going to go under the radar. And Zach Ertz. Again, I think a lot of people are going to be afraid of Zach Ertz against the Chicago defense. But I think I'm going to go contrarian again with Zach Ertz because I don't think he's going to get a ton of love. I think he's the best tight end on the slate, one of the best tight ends on the slate. So I'm going to play Ertz in this position. This is a very, very hard spot for me because I have Luck and I have Wilson, which puts Ebron and Lockett in position in this play. I'm definitely looking at Ebron or Tyler Lockett because I like game stacking. I game stack in all of my lineups. That's going to be no different here. I think I'm going to play Ebron just because I don't think Russell Wilson is going to get the pass volume that Luck will have, and I think since Russell Wilson isn't going to get a whole bunch of throws, I don't think that Tyler Lockett is a good play. So I'm rolling out Ebron with Luck. Another guy that now we get to tier 7. Tier 7 has a ton of punt plays. If you can play Al Galore, you can play Golden Tate. But this is a position where I think when you look at the receivers on Chicago, all questionable, I think I'm going to play Trey Burton. You can play Aguilar. I don't think a lot of people are going to be on Aguilar. Don't really like Golden Tate in this position. So I think I'm just going to roll out Trey Burton in this position, assuming that the other players are, the other receivers for Chicago are questionable. And if they're in, I think that takes Trey Burton out of the picture. If you want to take Trey Burton out of the picture, I think you play Aguilar in this position. I think Aguilar is going to fly under the radar, but I think he's going to be the best play on Philly against this defense. And then we get to tier 8. Not a lot of good plays on tier 8, like John Brown and Will Snead if Flacco's playing. But Flacco isn't playing. It is going to be Lamar Jackson, which takes Brown and Snead out of the picture for me in tier 8. I think I'm going to roll Jarwin. I like Jarwin at tight end, but if you're going with the game script that Ezekiel Elliott's going to get a lot of touches, I think that takes Jarwin out of the picture. So now you're left with only really a few guys. I think I'm just going to punt with Mark Andrews. I think the targets are going to be there. I think for a tier 8 guy, if he gets you, 3 to 4 targets and 54 yards, it is going to be a good play. I think you could play Jarwin if you want a punt play. So, I think I'm going to play Mark Andrews. I think Mark Andrews is going to get enough receptions to justify playing him at tier 8. So yeah, this is my thought process when making a lineup in this type of competition. It's a very weird competition. Definitely watch the injury reports with Elliott, with Gordon, with the Chicago receivers. But this is how I would play this game script in the wildcard weekend. If you want to make a tier lineup, this is how to do it. So, sorry, this is a long upload looking at full slates. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you would play it differently, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.